Now in this video I want to put some information that you may not have seen on video 1. This is the second video of doing this little art project for Karen using motorcycle parts, Rustoleum, and 5-star clear. Now this is the 5-star clear that we've used on pretty much the last couple of years, all our motorcycle restoration projects and other little projects around the house with some pretty good results. Now the number one thing to understand about Rustoleum is it has some limitations, but you can do some really nice work with it too, as long as you follow a few basic rules. Now one of the things when you're doing, and this is an art project of course for Karen's kitchen, and somewhere on this thing we'll try to explain what else we're doing around the house with these things. We're kind of made a little hobby out of using up old motorcycle parts. But anyway, the advantage of using a Rustoleum on a part like this, inexpensive, it dries quick, but the one thing you run into a high risk doing if you don't wait at least a week, and in my case it's been about a week, to put the clear on. If you don't wait that week, what happens? This part can look really good. You have the clear on, and 10 minutes later you look and it turns into an alligator skin. It all crinkles up. The paint is not comfortable going over the paint underneath it, and it has that reaction. So we're going to try to avoid that today. Now I know there's a lot of places on motorcycles, and the track day just happens to be one I remember, where guys that have old track day bikes, yeah, they use a lot of Rustoleum, and they don't care really what they look like, but you can still do quite a nice job with the Rustoleum. Now this is not the point about it, but it's a side issue. I did find some paint that, and I did a little test and probably put that on a future video, that does have the anodized look that I was trying to get about a week ago. I was trying to make the paint look like a gold anodized finish. This paint just comes right out of the spray can looking like that, so maybe we'll show that on a future video. So just to back this up, Karen found this, and this was on the first video, she found in a magazine somebody had a real decorative idea. They used motorcycle sprockets and discs on decorating their kitchen, and I figured not to be outdone. I had already had some discs in my shop, and this is my my shop bathroom, and I took some of the old parts that I had laying around, and this is now my wall art, but the stuff we're working on today is going to be Karen's wall art. Now another thing I wanted to mention, this is something, and I thought this is good information for people that like to use an airbrush. When you have a spray can, let me just show this, and you're limited to using this nozzle for your spray pattern, well, it limits what you can do. If you put that spray can into in this case I used the cap, and you could look at the first video and see how that worked out, and then I airbrushed this on. Well, here's what's going to happen. When we put the clear on these parts, you're going to see a totally dramatic difference in how where it feathers in from one color to the next color. It's going to change dramatically. The clear, especially the 5-star clear, is really going to make this pop. It's going to make a big difference, and of course because we're doing this for Karen's wall art project, she's pretty excited to see how this is going to look. So let me go get the clear, mix up a batch. It's 5-star clear, and get a coat of clear on these. I just wanted to get a tack coat out on this, not a wet coat. It's not going to shine till we get the second or third coat on this anyway. And give that about 20 minutes to dry. I'll have a cup of coffee. Now what I'm trying to do with the Rustoleum is build this up with a totally dry coat, a medium coat, and now the last thing will be, the last coat will be a wet coat. I don't want to put the wet coat on first because it's going to be a problem if this paint isn't totally dry, and it's been dry. Again, the biggest thing with Rustoleum, it's got to dry, and I always say 2 weeks, probably a week. This is a week old, so let's see if we get away with it. Alright, that's basically a wet coat. Now we're just going to see how that lays down and dries up. And again, we'll leave this out in the garage for well, a couple hours anyway. Maybe the rest of the day, since we're not going to hang these today. Now, Karen came out and gave her full approval, which of course is the most important part of the job. But what I wanted to show, if I can, it's difficult until we can bring these inside, is how it really accents the way the blends on some of the parts come, the way the airbrush work blends in. Anyway, the next time we look at this project, it'll be hung up in in Karen's kitchen. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. So this is a couple days after we finished the painting, and you think this would be relatively easy, but it's pretty complex. We want to hang the 5 pieces of motorcycle parts that we painted with Rustoleum and clear, and these are 5 paintings that Karen wants to complement with motorcycle art. And we want to put one, and we got to arrange these. Now to do this, sounds like it would be easy. It's really not that easy. So what we're going to do is make 5 fake ones out of paper and put them up with tape until we're happy with where they are, and then put the mollies in the wall. I don't want to have 400 mollies in the wall by the time I'm done. So this is complementing Karen's, and she's done all the artwork in the house. Complementing that are our motorcycle parts. How funny is that? Actually, I think it looks pretty cool. But of course, all artwork is in the eye of the beholder. And a few sprockets we had left over in discs, I wound up just hanging in the garage.